money. Suspension fees, you know? Checkbook with you?
No, I had some questions I wanted to ask for clarification purposes before I even make any type of plea here.
Well, let me first read them off to you.
Yeah, because I don't know what they are. It's been so long.
Yeah, I see that. You don't even use paper tape. Wow, you got more too? Leaving the scene of property damage, accident. Move from the lane unsafely, Grange Hill Road. Unlicensed operator. Failure to reduce speed on a special hazard, which is a curve on Grange Hill Road. Well, those are pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
They come in with all 4 tickets are suspended, owes 35 times 4, 140 plus 140 is 280 on these. And then you've got speeding. Street 57 and 35. 511-0281, aggravated unlicensed operator on a previous second conviction. Another speed, 48 and a 45.
Wow, I was going mighty fast.
Wow, you were really
48 and a 45. Oh my gosh.
you were cooking. Then you got another 511-01A, aggravated unlicensed operator in the third, which is a misdemeanor. Okay, what are your questions?
Okay, first I want to ask you if you honoring your oath today, you actually operating under your oath, the oath you took to uphold the Constitution?
You're darn right I do.
Okay, because the U.S.
I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't.
No, I know. I just had to ask just for clarification purposes. It says here that the U.S. Constitution, Article 6, Section 1, Clause 2. It says
Clause 3, by the way. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's the next one. I'll be getting there. I'm on Clause 2 right now. It says, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, shall be the supreme law of the land." That's Clause 1. Clause 3 is, "The judges in every state shall be bound thereby, and any things in the constitutional laws of any state made in contrary to that is notwithstanding or without standing." Now, from my understanding, from the second clause here, every ruling made in the Supreme Court is actually becomes the law of the land.
No. The Constitution becomes my law of the land.
Oh yeah, no, it says here the Constitution.
Not the ruling of the Supreme
Yeah,
Court.
but according to this clause, it says that the Constitution and the law of the United States, which shall be made in the pursuance thereof, like during the proceedings, any ruling made in the pursuance of the law becomes law of the land as well, according to Clause 2 of Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution. I just want to make sure that, am I understanding
Article 6
that?
or Article 5?
No, it says Article 6, U.S. Constitution, Article 6, Section 1, Clause 2.
5. Wait a minute. Give it to me one more time.
Okay, U.S. Constitution, Article 6, Section 1, Clause 2. It says Supremacy Clause. "This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, shall be the supreme law of the land."
Okay? Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, am I understanding correctly when I say that any Supreme Court ruling becomes law of the land according to Article 6, Section 1, Clause
You can use
2?
a Supreme Court ruling as a defense on such and such versus such and such. In other words, if there's a case law that says Smith versus Jones in Supreme Court ruling was XYZ, therefore I'm using that ruling as a defense.
Okay. So the Supreme Court rulings doesn't become supreme law of the land?
No.
Okay. All right. So according to what you just said, if I wanted to use this case and what was cited in this case right here, the case Thompson v. Smith, it says that The right of the citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his property thereon, either by horse-drawn carriage or by automobile, is not a mere privilege, which a city can prohibit or permit at will, but a common right, which he has under the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So that was actually ruled in the Supreme Court. And I actually have a few other ones here I wanted to point out. It says here that this is Miller v. U.S. It says if the state converts a liberty into a privilege, the citizen can engage in that right with impunity. So I can just basically say, I don't need a license, regardless of what the police told me. I have a right that say I don't, and I can still engage in this right with impunity. Basically gives me immunity to whatever statute that was created that's basically impeding on my right.
Did John Abinader tell you to say this to me?
I don't even know who that is.
I had this argument, and I've had this actual argument on these cases of rights and privilege, by the way, when it does handle the motor vehicle license. Because when the motor vehicle license is charged for in the state of New York, it now becomes a right instead of a privilege. Because people say that you have it's a privilege to drive in New York State. Actually, it's been argued that it is a right to, because they charged you for a driver's license.
Wait, hold on. Actually, it's not a right. You don't have a right to drive. That is a privilege. And it's only a privilege because of the legal definition of the word drive. The legal definition of the word drive. See, commonly, everyone thinks you get in the car and you drive. The common definition is you get in the car and you drive. But what the people need to wake up to is there's a totally different definition legally. It's called legalese. And that legal definition of drive is someone who operates a motor vehicle for hire, for business, for commerce. I wasn't doing it for any of those reasons. So therefore, I don't understand why I have to present a driver's license when legally I don't even fit the definition of the term drive or driver. And then in another
problem is Sylvester, you are on the road that's maintained by the towns, counties, and state. Therefore, their opportunity to say to you, if you want to be on my property, you need to have this license.
Oh no, I understand that.
I went through this.
I understand that.
Love this. We could do
the
this
reason,
for an
look,
hour.
okay, now the reason I understand that, and I agree with you, and that's because that's just like saying because everything is incorporated. This is all corporations. The United States is a corporation. It's been a corporation since 1871. It's been a corporation. This is a business. So I definitely understand, like if I was chartered to do business over this whole landmass and someone else came over here to do business, yeah, you're gonna need a permit from me. You need a license because I do business here. If you want to go to McDonald's and sell Burger King, you better get McDonald's permission. I understand that. Now, when you say the definition of driver is someone that's operating for business, of course that person is going to need a driver's license or permission to do that because I was already chartered to do business in this whole landmass of Turtle Island. And my business is called the United States Corporation, the federal corporation.
You have your incorporation papers with you?
No, I'm not talking about my incorporation, but I do have the incorporated name, Sylvester Collins.
Good thing you went last.
Yeah, if you like though, I do have my incorporated entity.
You know you got the Assistant Attorney General here today by any chance? Did you know he is here?
Is he here for me?
No, he's not here for you, but you just happen to got the king of the land.
Yeah, but I
king
do
of the
have
corporation.
I do have title over my
So
my
let me
corporate
ask you,
entity.
is your argument that you don't need a license to operate any vehicle, let alone drive, push, or sway in or out of a driveway, you have that right without a license?
Yeah, according to legal.
Do you have a car?
Legally, I do.
You do have a car?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what do you do, push it around the field?
Oh no, I travel in it, but I don't drive.
What do you do in it?
I travel.
So somebody else drives it?
No, I travel in it.
Is it one of those new Teslas that are driverless cars?
No, I actually
So
travel
if
in
you
it.
leave from point A to go to point B, you don't touch that steering wheel.
Now, see, from going to point A to point B is actually defined legally as travel. So that's what I'm telling you. I do. Yeah, I have it all here. I've been doing this work for years, so I wish I knew it when I got these tickets. I wouldn't be here right now, but I didn't know that then.
Well,
I know
after
it
a
now.
while, this becomes where they're going to come after you in car. And that's not even a good thing.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that. I'm not really worried about that because I've already seriously. I've written already to the Oneida County Sheriff's Department, Utica Police Department. I've written Cuomo. I've written the Attorney General for the state. I've written the New York State Department of Motor Vehicle and all put them on notice of my rights and that I know my rights now. And I didn't know them before, but I know them now, and I don't expect to be harassed in my exercise of them. I'm not starting any trouble. I don't want any problems. I just want you to know that I know my rights, and I don't expect to be harassed or hindered in any way.
So I wouldn't want you to, because you know what? In this court, nobody should be.
Exactly. I mean, no one in the world should be, but I understand that now, and I understand that I have to put certain authority figures on notice of that, just to prevent any problems or lawsuits.
Do you have any money?
I don't.
Do you use money? Money is a vehicle for you to go buy something?
No, because actually, according to Public Law 7310, there is no money, because the only lawful money for us as the people was gold and silver. So when the corporation went bankrupt and took all the gold from the people, 7310 actually said that because they took the gold, there's no money for us to use. So anybody demanding that you pay can't demand that you pay them in a specific way, according to Public Law 7310.
Well, at one point back in 1950 something, when they, maybe I got the date wrong, when they produced the silver certificates, gold certificates, they took that gold and they turned it into currency in exchange for that. Have you ever seen a silver certificate?
I don't think anyone ever seen a silver certificate.
Looks like a dollar bill, and it says silver certificate.
That wasn't what you call the greenback, the one that got, what's the name, in all that trouble? That he tried to put it into, he tried it, and they basically killed him.
Well, let me ask you this. There's an offer on the table from the district attorney. In full satisfaction of all this, he's willing to take away most of this. Is that something that you're interested in accepting?
Oh, no. I mean... all of it has to go according. Is this legally? Yeah.
But there's an offer that he's saying, just plead to this and this and this, and we'll take care of all these things. But that's you have a right to a trial. Did you know?
Yeah, I know that, and I was going to ask that because I know that these courts, usually traffic courts, are not let me say, like court of record. So in order for any of this to really have any type of weight, is not to damage your integrity or anything like that, but if I can state this stuff in the court of record, I know it would carry so much more weight. So I actually would prefer a trial.
So you want to move this to the county?
I mean, unless you're willing to dismiss it right now for what I've told you so far. But if you're not, then yeah, I'll go to trial before I take a plea or.
Yes, but the problem is first of all, you have the right not to take this plea. You have that right. You also have a right to a trial, and you have a right to either use yourself or pay for an attorney of your own. You do have that right. Everyone is presumed innocent until guilty in my court. I don't. Everyone that comes in here, whether it's criminal or even everything down to a V&T, everyone is innocent because the person that gave you these tickets doesn't necessarily mean that they were right.
I wish I knew who gave me those tickets. I wish I knew who gave me those. I wish I had a copy of those tickets. I wouldn't even be here if I had a copy of those tickets. I would not be standing here right now. That is a fact. If I had the names of the officer who wrote those tickets, I definitely wouldn't be here today. Or those badge numbers, I definitely wouldn't be here. And I wouldn't even go after them personally. I would just let them know that I know and give them a chance.
It wasn't you.
Oh, I know who.
Oh, okay. You knew this was coming.
No, he knew this was coming. The guy in that room right there knew this was coming. He knew this was coming. When I first told him, he turned into a tomato and said, "Tell Judge." Talk to the judge.
I have argued your point in nauseam with other people.
You know how long it took me to be able to argue this? To be able to retain it to the point where and mash it up and digest it to the point where I could.
Do you want to?
To what?
Well, we got to get those files out of the way.
Yeah, I just need to put these on the record and it'll take 5 minutes.
Hang on a second, Sylvester.
Okay.
Paul, do you know if your client's coming?
Yeah, well, both of the Hadley says his client is going to be here at 3:15.
Okay. Where's yours?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't have one. Rick
Yeah.
Morrow represents the other one.
Is he coming?
As far as I know, the question was whether or not he was going to be here at 3:15 with Hadley. I didn't have any, when I talked to the clerk yesterday, she said that she saw that it was, there was a notation in the file that Hadley's client was gonna be here at 3:15, but she didn't see anything in the file about Morrow's client. So in an abundance of caution, because I didn't want, you know, them coming in and expecting me to be here at 1 o'clock, I wasn't gonna, you know, like roll in at 3:15 or 3 o'clock and make them wait, because I didn't know if he was gonna be here. So I showed up at the appointed time, just in case Rick Morrow showed up with his client. So I'm assuming that he's.
Can we call Rick Morrow and just ask him if he's planning on showing up with his client, which is Evans?
Yeah.
Let's get on that right away.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want you falling asleep.
It's fascinating, Judge. It's truly fascinating.
The only fascinating part is I know exactly what he's talking about because I actually defended this right and privilege thing.
I went down to DMV and actually.
They threw you out.
Oh yeah. No, well, a couple times I got thrown out, but I actually had one lady that was like, "Hey, you're right. I know it's fraud, but we only do it Albany." He said, "Right, Albany." That's when I went home and wrote 6 different people.
What are you going to do when you run across the guy that doesn't understand what you're saying?
I've been told this because I see officers in public and I stop officers and ask them, "Hey, did you know this? Why do you guys do this? Why do you write tickets?" And I had officers actually tell me like, "Hey, listen, you be careful with that because you have some officers out here that have Nazi agendas and you don't fit the description of the person who's supposed to have that type of knowledge. So you be careful before you just spill that off to any officer." So I'm careful about it. I don't look for trouble. You know, I'm a very safe traveler. You know,
Not a driver, a traveler.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, give us a second.
All right.
Give us a
Judge,
second.
how about, do you think he's an operator?
No. The car I have right now, I'm driving outside. My mom's the operator. She has the
I don't mean
license.
today, I mean on the day in question of that.
Oh, no, I'm not the operator neither. I didn't own that car. The
Yeah.
person.
No, that's
We
not
are
the
waiving the
definition
felony
of
hearing.
Oh, it is. I can show you.
On the record.
The definition
sending
of operator is the
everything.
one who's licensed to have the car.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. Let me show you.
That's okay.
Are you sure? Because
I'm
you.
certain.
Then you can't be certain if you don't want me to
I'm
show you the
absolutely
facts.
certain. Absolutely certain.
I can call it to you right now. I can show you. You sure?
Not necessary.
Okay, so I understand where you're coming from. No reason to even continue speaking with you. I got proof right there. You don't even want to see it.
We already
don't
adjourned
need
it.
To see what
You wanted to go to the
believe
24th?
No, we're gonna waive the
not
thing
mine, it's
outright.
someone
The
else's.
felony
It's a
hearing is
dictionary.
gone, we're
If you
sending
know
this
what
up to
it is.
county.
No, dictionary doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's the vehicle and traffic law of the state of New York that controls. Period.
The felony
End of story.
hearing.
And you can talk about whether you have free,
Send.
unimpeded right to use the road. Yes, to walk down the road, okay?
Send
But if
to
you're gonna operate,
county?
a
Yes.
motor vehicle, under the vehicle and traffic law, you have to comply with the vehicle and traffic law, and when you don't, you get tickets. End of story.
Okay. Is he still he's not incarcerated, is he?
Yes, he is, but he has 3 different jurisdictions and then we're to be out in county. This guy just called me, said he spoke to you and told me that he was gonna start paying you next week and he couldn't be in court today because he's getting fingerprinted for a job too.
They all are getting jobs. Brian Orsino.
So he promises next week.
Needs job. Needs update. Where's the report? Yep. To pay?
He says he's gonna start making payments next week.
Gonna start making them, huh? I gotta track this guy down.
Yes. Alright, I just need the date to be the 24th.
Ryan McGraw. The cook. Without defendant. We're adjourning to next week.
Yes, the letter said the 24th that I sent out.
This is the courtroom. It's Supreme Court room.
That doesn't have
Right.
anything to do with it.
I can send him a letter. He's a no-show for the 31st.
The state of New York that controls here. You have a right to use the public highway,
The MDP.
subject
Yes.
to regulation. No, subject to what's called regulation. You're not being precluded from using it.
So I'll send
What
them
do you
up.
wanna do? You got a bad address.
Subject to
There's an original address here
That's the
from,
word in the Supreme Court
This is a
says
new one.
they can
When I write this on here,
regulate is not
he's at
prohibit.
52 Mill Street, Bridgewater. This one here, State Route 315, Deansboro, that you might as well send this over to Jackie.
okay, so 52 Mill Street?
Yeah.
What you're doing, you're
Box
plucking
343, Bridgewater, New York.
No, you-
What's the zip there?
Go read the vehicle.
13313. Down in Bridgewater, they need an easy one like that. 133.
I'll have Judge Massey pick them up.
That was mean.
What, Massey?
Oh, Massey.
Yeah, Judge
Even though I
Massey.
was thinking, I was thinking of the one that's gone.
Oh, Ingram?
Yeah. Will send
I was with him for 7 years.
one letter. That must have been fun. Adjourn to when?
31st, 2 weeks. I can generate the letter and send it out.
By Dave Cook.
This looks like a reopened ACD.
Shakira Sanders.
All right, you're on a whole nother matter now. What that mean? I'm just
No,
go.
only, oh no, I want you to hang on.
Oh, okay. Want me
Yeah,
to sit
I
back
gotta
down?
deal with you, but he had 30 files waiting.
You want me to sit back down?
Yeah. Well, what are we gonna do with it?
I don't know. I mean, the reopened ACD.
Oh, by the way, the mother said she's still smoking weed.
Oh.
No, that's Shakira. Oh. Shakira's dad. Shakira Sanders' boy.
Oh, okay.
He's running with the wrong crowd, Judge, and he's still smoking weed.
Shakir.
That's what the mother told me.
What was the original plea to? Oh, ACD. Yeah, it was ACD. What was the original charge?
240-20 and 221-05. Weed?
Not a lot of time over, so.
Well, what do you do?
We got him. We got him on camera.
Unless you want to.
Told you, mommy.
This time, I believe before.
Deserve a reward for this. Might deserve a Nobel Peace.
Are you Sylvester Collins?
Name.
This is Mr. Nolan, the AD. Go ahead, Mike.
Judge, in regards to the traffic tickets that are on for today for trial, I had the opportunity to meet with the officer that wrote the tickets. We spoke at length. Due to the, I guess, time period that has lapsed since the issuing of the tickets, the officer has reviewed his notes, reviewed what happened, remembers writing the ticket, remembers the incident very well, but had informed me that, in fact, he could not identify whether Mr. Collins is the same Mr. Collins that he wrote the ticket to on that day. He just doesn't remember. It was a, for all intents and purposes, a minor traffic infraction at the time. So at this time, based on that, I don't think the people would be able to prove that Mr. Collins was the actual operator, although we do believe that. The officer could not get on the stand and say that definitively. So without being able to identify him as the operator or driver of vehicle, I don't think we would prevail at trial. So instead of wasting everybody's time, at least on that those traffic tickets, the people would move to dismiss those traffic tickets at that time, at this time.
Okay, and all tickets will be dismissed. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And that's okay with you?
Yes, I mean, like I said, Judge, the main thing is that the officer obviously does not want to say something that is inaccurate. Like I said, he remembers the incident, he just doesn't remember what, Mr. Collins' face ultimately is what it came down to, so I cannot proceed on that.
Okay,
based on that.
then we're gonna move to dismiss. It's 10:02 and 9:18:17. Done.
All right.
Close the recorder.